couple minutes to do a presentation for you so that you kind of have a little bit of an understanding of Leader in Me. I promise you that I will not put you on the bus in May, but I can't promise you in the fall that we won't take a trip to Beech so you can actually see Leader in Me in their culture. This is their first year, so I'm kind of giving them some time to get up and running. But I'm a parent of a Leader in Me child, so my younger son is in the Leader in Me building. And it is probably the most profound way that I've seen my own two children be able to talk and have ownership for their decisions, their actions, their behavior. And so it kind of creates that kind of culture, that community where everyone has the same way to kind of talk about working, learning, and coexisting together, within in the building, all within the mindset of not necessarily developing leaders like leading a bank or leading a school district or leading a country or that type of leadership, right? But really leadership in terms of you kind of are responsible for you, right? And just like Heath was talking about, we all have different ways that we have to step up and take leadership in different situations, and we need to know how to do that. We need to be as educators equipping our young people with the tools, the resources, and the common language on how to do that. So Sue's going to take a minute and talk about Leader in Me, and then our star of our show, our young people that are here from Hilbert are going to finish our Partnership Council Luncheon with talking about the robotics team and the wonderful work they've been doing at the middle school. And I put them at the end so that as you leave, you can go up and look at their exhibit and you can talk to them also about their experience of being robotics. Are they like, oh Lord, I gotta talk more? I promise we don't bite, okay? So I don't know if any of you have a background and know where Leader in Me started, but is anybody familiar with Stephen Covey? Stephen Covey is one of the originators. He is the originator of Leader in Me, and of course he started out doing this in business and realized that there was benefit in transferring it to children and building their strengths and celebrating their skills and their leadership. And so he then took that work to schools. And so that's where kind of the history lesson of where this goes. And so Beech had the opportunity through some grant funding to be able to bring this program into the school at Beech and do some pretty extensive training. It starts with the adults. And so the adults in the building went through some pretty heavy transformation this past summer, doing some training, and it's really more about the work on yourself and reflecting about who you are before you can then transfer that to the kids. And so all of my staff, including Lisa, who was part of our training, being in our building, so we felt it was important for secretaries and for support staff and for teachers and administration to all be there together doing this work. After we finished our training in August, we then started the work on how do we help this come to the children and bring it about. And so it starts out by really teaching what this is all about, which is our 7 habits. And so there are 7 habits that the children will get indoctrinated through this process. And so we really started by kind of entrenching them in the language, in the terminology about Leader in Me. And you'll see some of the 7 habits have some interesting names such as synergize. And so it's knowing what that means, sharpen the saw, a win-win. So it's about thinking about how do you kind of do things in life. And it's about having good character, being a good person, and celebrating each other's strengths. And so it's really about knowing that everyone has a strength and everyone can be celebrated through that. And so I'm gonna show some slides coming forward where you'll see some of the kids doing some things at Beech that are celebrating their leadership skills. It will come down to the end of the school year. We will have a leadership day. We are doing kind of an abbreviated leadership day. It's our very first year. It's a big deal to do. Serena knows because she has been to them. But we are in process of working on that, and it will be a day about the kids showing themselves, showcasing what they do. It isn't about the adults then, it's now about the kids. So we are in the process of what we call kind of a shared student leadership, where the students are going to start taking leadership roles in the school, what happens at Beech and how it happens at Beech. So they're going to be taking a lot more involvement. We are taking baby steps right now, but we're moving forward with that. We still work on these skills with the adults as well as with the kids. So these are the same habits that the adults worked on as well, and what they're about. And so you really have to work on making sure you can work with others, making sure you take care of yourself, making sure that you are going into a situation and making sure it's a win-win for both of you when you're going into a situation. So those are the things that we really talk to our kids about, and we continue to work on with everyone. So one of our celebrations that we do is we have a leaderboard for Beech leaders, and these are all students that were recognized because they have a skill in one of those habits that they have exhibited this month at Beech, and so they had the opportunity to have that displayed up at school and to have the parents be able to see it, and they love the fact that that's there and that they get to check out where their friends are at or if they're on the board this month. So you'll see a lot of that type of thing in the building now. There's been a pretty big transformation. It is about kind of inundating them with all of those positive things. So you're going to see quotes on the walls. You're going to see new posters on the walls, and everything is about kind of building yourself up. So we had a little opportunity yesterday. These are some of our 5th grade leaders that just first got a little taste of being a leader, and they did some practicing, but we had a mid-year honors assembly where we honored our students that are doing great things at Beech, and we invited our parents. And so our parents were invited. We did them by grade level because we're quite a large school, and we filled the gym 4 different times, which was lovely. So we looked at academics, we looked at citizenship, and then we did a specific award around leaders. And so we had students recognized for all of those things, and these ladies and gentlemen that are represented here are the ones that kind of took a lead role. They greeted parents as they came into the building, showed them where they needed to go to have a seat in our gym, and that let them know how long it would be before we would get started. They walked their classmates into their seats and got them ready and seated in their designated areas. They were on the mic in front of everybody else. They talked to the adults and talked to their classmates, and they kind of ran the show. And so there were a few more students involved in that, but these folks really stepped up. They did a little bit of practice with Dr. Bradley, getting used to using the mic, getting used to, what should we say, how do we approach things, and they did a great job. So we're very proud of them, but we also had the opportunity to celebrate many students at Beech yesterday for their accomplishments so far this year. And of course, the encouragement is, of course, at the end of the year, we want to see far more students represented and honored for what they're doing at Beech. That's a little bit about what we're doing in Leader and Me. Kind of some of our next steps is that we will be, we're working on the students taking over the announcements, and actually we're going to be doing we're kind of moving into the Google platform, so we're going to be using Google Classroom to start taping those announcements and sending those out in the morning rather than being the adults on the PA and having the kids take ownership of that and what it's going to look like. So we have some more opportunities moving forward.
They're going to be working with our media teacher to start doing those announcements. So we're very excited for some of these things for our children. But, you know, it's not the typical, what do we celebrate you for? You'll see things on lockers and things like that, that they celebrate what they are good at as well. So it's a really neat experience. We got work to do still, and we're still kind of trying to make it our whole culture. And so it will be continuing the work. It's a kind of a 3 to 5 year process to really get it entrenched in your building, and we're starting out with year 1.
Thank you. What's really interesting to see as they get further down this process is that the kids will then be able to actually talk about those habits and tell you how they use them. How they use them at school, how they use them at home. Even, you know, when my own child came home, you know, he used the word synergy when he was like kindergarten, first grader. But he described it on those terms, but he understood what it meant, right? So they're in the very early stages, but remember our goal at Partnership Council is to share with you what we're starting, what's on the horizon. In the fall, we did early college, which was really brand new, and eSparks. And so I wanted Sue to kind of have a chance to talk to you about something that's big, because Leader in Me is a very big initiative at Beech. They're just in the very early stages, so we're looking forward to hear how that's continuing to